Hey guys, welcome to the Sim Racing Paddock. I'm William Marsh, and it is time for the final race in our Sim Racing System Porsche Carrera RSR 3.0 liter race in the season. And for this final race, we are going to be going to Barcelona. So this should be an exciting event. As always, we are going to go with number 56 for this race. And we are going to be doing a bit of practice first, and then at the top of the hour, we are going to start the qualifying and the race. So first off, I want to make sure I have my paddles. Actually, hold on, did everything get unassigned? Hold on a second. What is going on here? Let me check something real quick. My wheel is not being recognized. So, hold on. I am going to restart my wheel real quick. Sorry for this quick inconvenience. We will get this sorted. Okay, it is working now. Murphy's Law, guys. Whenever you start a stream, that is when something is going to go wrong. So, let's choose this preset. That should work fine. Okay. Pedals, yes. Shifter, yes. Okay. So, no clue what went wrong there, but hey, it's easy to fix. Okay. Shifter. So, yeah, thankfully, at least was able to resolve this real quick. So, let's set... For the heck of it, this time let's do brake balance. Map that. Don't think we'll really need it, but we will take a look and check. But yeah, I think we have just about everything mapped that we need to. 24%. It's bumped up to 30. And then we can go in a second. But yeah, so for week 6 in this championship, we are going to Barcelona. So keep in mind, if you are looking to join in this race, you will need, I think it's the Dream Pack 2 DLC, as well as the Porsche Pack DLC, which includes the 911 Carrera RSR. So we will do a little testing and see where this will take us. But yeah, I'm excited for this race. Barcelona's a decent track for me, but it's, in general, it's a very tricky track. Okay, so... let's just get these tires heated up, get a feel for how the car behaves on the track, and then what adjustments we might need to make to the setup. Okay, something is drastically wrong. I'm not seeing any brake or anything. Jefferson, thanks for subscribing, but why locked at 47 miles an hour? That's unusual. Let's go back to the pits, check our setup real quick. It should be at default. Okay, let's try this again. I've never had that issue before. again. I'm not seeing anything on the brake, and that wouldn't drag it. Handbrake isn't mapped. So what the heck is going on here? Let's adjust final drive, but right now I'm confused. Should not be this slow. I'm full throttle, and it's stuck at 60. Has anyone ever had this issue, guys? Has anyone ever had this problem? Because I'm currently confused as heck. We'll jump out and back in. I'm gonna exit out of Assetto Corsa and jump back in. There's no pit limiter button in Assetto Corsa. But that's so unusual. Hey, Pixel Therapy. Cool to see you in here. Been a while. So let's see real quick. Jump into controls. Well, that could be interesting. So we just saw that the handbrake. Okay, so I think I might know what happened there. So recently, as you can see, things are looking a little different on the camera side. So rotated the cockpits and sort of remap things around. Right now, my handbrake is not plugged in. So I think it was still recognizing it as halfway plugged in. And it was half handbrake. So my thought is, now it should be... Yeah, you can immediately see acceleration is so much better now. So that was the problem. So it was still attempting to recognize the handbrake, even though the handbrake wasn't plugged in. And by default, on different axes for the pedals, handbrake, steering wheel, it'll recognize it as 50% input. So it was locked. It locked the handbrake at 50% input. So that was the problem. But the pedal indicator on the top right, it does not show handbrake, unlike what it does in iRacing. But hey, at least we solved that issue. You can tell we can actually drive now. By the way, guys, I want to share a bit of exciting news for the next season of Sim Racing System. So the Sim Racing Paddock Sim Racing System series for next season, starting next week, is going to be utilizing the Mazda MX-5 Cup. And honestly, I'm kind of stoked for that, because the MX-5, I think, definitely better suits my driving style. This Porsche, it's a fun car to drive. I just don't think it matches my driving style as well as other cars. I'm a big fan of the Mazda MX-5 Cup, and having that series put together should provide for some close racing too, I think. So, should be exciting. And yeah, I'm hoping you guys will stay tuned or join in for the series. But yeah, I believe for that you will need, I think it's the Japanese car pack. That one is the pack that the Miata is included in, or the MX-5 Cup. So I think you would need that pack, and possibly for the other tracks. I don't know the full track roster yet, but hopefully I will know that before next season starts in a week. Rashid, I tend to use virtual reality more it's more of an immersive experience for me. I really enjoy it a lot. It does get a little sweaty in the summer, though. That's the only thing. I do have a fan right down at my feet, blowing air into my face to try to cool me off a bit. It's about 80 degrees Fahrenheit right now, so yeah, it gets a little toasty. And actually, I got sent, it's called the VR cover. Supposedly, it helps breathe better, or not breathe better, the material breathes better and keeps you from sweating as much. So I'm going to test that out later on. But yeah, this car is lively. No doubt about that. So now I want to try to figure out what I should set the gearing for. So we might want to adjust the final drive. So we're going to go onto the front straight, and we want to see where we are on the power band. So what RPMs we're getting on the front straight. So a lot of people ask me how to set up a car for a track. This is going to be a bit of a mini crash course in a second. So one of the biggest things you'll want to do when you're trying to set up a car for a track is figure out the gearing. So we're coming up onto the front straight. And you can see that this is a longer straight. Thank you, Unique Sir, for subscribing. So we're in 5th gear now. We're getting close to red line, but we are leaving some revs on the table. So thinking about that, we can shorten the gear ratios, and that will give us a little more acceleration at the expense of top speed. But we aren't hitting the top speed in our car anyway, so we have a bit of overhead to sacrifice. So let's go into the garage now and make that adjustment. So we'll go into the garage. So right now our top speed is 158. If we drop the final drive, it's a little too far down. So what we will do is we'll keep the final gear at the 731 we were at. We will drop this, I think, 1 click, and maybe all the gears except first gear, which is all the way down. So this should give us quicker acceleration now, and we will see on the front straight. So Rashid, if you buy a USB hub, especially for sim racing use, I highly recommend getting a powered USB hub. Actually, I just bought a powered USB hub myself because I'm running out of USB ports. So I just got the USB hub. I'm going to set it up later on. But yeah, you definitely are wanting a powered hub, so we will send power to at least all the components. Or internal USB card, and that is also powered as well. Or it's either powered through PCIe, or you get it powered through the Molex adapters generally in those cards. Hey, CDA Gaming, how's it going? So let's get some heat in these tires. Yes, we definitely need the heat. But yeah, I have one powered USB hub on this rig right now, I have it attached via Velcro, but actually I need another hub. So yeah, this is a USB 3 hub that I'm utilizing for USB 2 purposes, but now I'm going to utilize it for USB 3. So for example, my Oculus Rift sensor and I think the headset should work through this hub. Downside of cold tires, it's slippery. So here we are on the front straightaway, and you remember we were getting close to red line on the previous gear ratio. So now we're on the front straight again, and let's see if we get closer to red line. So you can see on the rev limiter on the bottom right, fifth gear is just about perfect in this, and then you can slow down and boom. So yes, I think we have our gearing set properly. So I am happy with that change we made with the gear ratio. And now we can take a look at tire pressures. So you'll notice that since Barcelona is a clockwise circuit, we are making more right turns than left turns. Because we are making more right turns than left turns, that means generally our left side tires are going to have more wear and more heat put into them. So basically the question is, how are we going to address that? One easy way is adjusting tire pressure. So adjusting tire pressure, and that's more of a shortest term solution, and you are going to have lower tire pressure, which means the tires will heat up quicker. So hopefully that would mean that the tire would hold heat a little more. So I think we'll make that adjustment next. But all in all, this car feels pretty good. Honestly, the Porsches don't fit my driving style, or this classic Porsche doesn't fit my driving style too well, but it's a good car at least. But yeah, so far this is pretty good. Well, it's so tricky. This car is very, very loose on the throttle. And there are different things that you can do to adjust it. But, hey, loose can be fast if you can control it at least. That's one of the nice things. But Barcelona is such a fun track. A lot of the corners are just deceptively difficult though. Like this one. I can't tell you how many times I've botched this corner and spun out. Might just want to hit the rev limiter there and not lose that much time shifting. This is a great car, Ben. It really is. It's a challenge, but it's a lot of fun. Okay, so I want to do my experiment with the left front or right front tire. So we're going to go to tires. I'm going to drop it down all the way to 20. Might be a little too low, but we'll see. And then I think camber and toe's okay. But camber is also a way you can adjust tire pressures. So raising the value makes the wheel gain more negative camber, gives more turn-in and lateral grip, less longitudinal grip. So I don't think we need to adjust that. Let me see if there's anything we can do with the differential. So the basic for the differential is like for under power. When the wheel's spinning under power, it loses grip. A lock differential will transmit more power to our non-spinning wheel, thus aiding traction but changing handling car. Higher values will aid traction until grip is enough, but then will provoke both driven wheels spinning. This will give oversteer to the rear-wheel drive cars and understeer on front-wheel drive. Lower values will give less traction. Okay. Letting the spinning wheel to continue spinning. So it's interesting. I wish I could drop that down to 30 and we could see how it is. Rear toe is important. Get it positive. Looks pretty good right now. Or let's see. Toe. Negative value means the wheel is seen from above looks toward the outside of the car. Gives faster turn in, but instability under braking. Slower turn in. Actually, we could use a little slower turn in. So let's save this setup as SRP Barcelona. So save that. And let's see how this goes. So we have a 210 lap, or 209 as our best lap. And we'll see how this left or right front tire behaves under lower pressure. So our right front tire's down to, or it was down to 19, now it's up to 20 PSI. Let's see if we can get more heat. So I can tell, yeah, the turn in is a little slower, a little more predictable, which is nice. So I'm happy with that adjustment because I felt the turn in was a little too sharp for us. But now it feels a little more manageable. A little more predictable. There we go. Little lock up on the right front. You can see the flashing there. Whoops. A little acceleration on the curb was a little too much. But on the bright side, our right front's actually green for once. Rashid, I'm working on scripting one out soon. I've made a couple videos about ACC. I think I have a playlist about ACC videos. Because there was the unveiling on ACC, and then my opinion on why it's a smarter move for them to do this sort of side title rather than jumping straight into Assetto Corsa 2. Because I think the second video I made was during the week of E3, because unfortunately I had to miss E3. Ludwig, they are announcing that this weekend. They are announcing that during the 24 Hours of Spa race. So, going to be very soon. Still, our right front is just refusing to heat up. Little bit of oversteer there. I think Kunos would be stupid not to include VR support. Because Unreal Engine, I know, has solid VR support built into the graphics engine, I think. So I think it would be stupid for them to alienate that demographic. We'll see how it goes, but yeah. Okay, about 6/10 off. But now we have heat in almost all of our tires. Little oversteer. Versatile Gaming, we're talking about Assetto Corsa Competizione. I think that's how you pronounce it. Everyone gives me so much crap about how to pronounce it. You're pronouncing it wrong. But it's like, if the point gets across, that's ultimately what matters. I mean, there's still people, like, including me, it's like, Fanatic, other people call it Fanatec. So, yeah. Yeah, it'd be fun to do like a team event with Gamer Muscle. And Jimmy, it's interesting because he already has his team alliance with the VES group, or the VEC group, my bad. I think it's Jardier or Yardier. Yeah, he's one of my friends. Or Yaroslav Honzik or something like that. He's a good driver. Lost a bit of time on that hairpin. Just so tricky with this car to get that right. But my guess is there are some people in this car pulling off 205s. So, my goal, I would love to finish 8th. That's generally where I've been finishing in a lot of these races. Viper Concept's a pretty good channel, and he does solid presentation. Donut Media can be pretty fun. Car Throttle, I'm trying to remember, like, they were really popular a few months ago. I don't know what's happened to them. I'm not seeing a lot of their recent videos. So, this might come as a surprise to some people. I don't really watch much of Nicky Team. I truly appreciate what he has done for bringing more exposure to sim racing. He's definitely a very talented driver. but I'd say it's a bit of an acquired taste for if you like his streaming style and personality or not. It's just a personality I'm not the biggest fan of, but I am not saying it's a bad channel. On the contrary, it's a great channel, and that's one of the great things about YouTube, is that we have all these different channels, all these different personalities that can appeal to different people. So, yeah. And that really just hurt my engine. Hey, Power Dog, how's it going? But yeah, like Jimmy Broadbent. Some people like him, some people don't. And that's one of the great things. Some people like me, some people don't. Some people like SimPit, some people don't. That's the reality. People like different things, and the nice thing is with YouTube, we have the ability to cater to those different demographics via different channels. And it really does bring more exposure to sim racing, which is always a great thing. Hello, Miss Figas. How's it going? Heard a little lockup, I think, in the rear tires right there. Cars are so tricky. Should be a fun race though. Let's try this in fourth gear. And I think we're losing a little too much there. For streaming, as I'm doing it right now, I am just using one computer. I have the NVIDIA GTX 1080, and I'm streaming through OBS Broadcaster. I utilize the NVIDIA encoder, which basically it allocates a little bit of the graphics card power into game capture, and I'm able to utilize that for streaming. So I'm using a single computer solution. Some people prefer secondary computer solution or alternatives like that, but ultimately it works for me. That's the thing. So that was a good lap, 208.5. Come on, throttle, throttle, throttle. Little oversteer. Well, I started a little too wide into that corner. Big lockup. What do you mean by game videos? Do you mean non-sim racing stuff or just gameplay? I heard that the 1180 cards might be even faster than the Titan XP. But yeah, I've thought about the idea of doing a side channel. The idea for a name the Wild World of Will popped in my head. So that's an idea I've been debating, and basically I would need to figure out a couple things logistically before taking that sort of endeavor. But it's an idea. I have a few ideas in my head for videos. It wouldn't be just gaming, but also just covering a lot of different interests I have. For example, talking about movies, or talking about technology and reviewing tech, things like that. So that's an idea I had. Who knows if it will work out, but sounds like a drug house. Yeah. I've also thought of the idea Will Talks Tech, but people might think that's a little derivative of like Linus Tech Tips or something. Totally overshot that corner. Rashid. Ay, man. But yeah, we'll see what happens. One of the things I'm looking at is basically doing the sort of from a desk style videos. So almost like vlog or video podcasts or things like that. But we'll see how it goes. First and foremost, my main responsibility is to SimRacingPaddock right now. And that's my primary focus and where most of my commitments are. And it's, if I have the time permitting, I might do a side channel. But I have a lot of things I need to work on with this channel first. Man, it's so much fun catching those slides. Okay, it is 5:45, so we might have 2 more laps in us. Yeah, this is a lot of fun. It's a great car. Yeah, sim racing is a very niche hobby, but it's growing more and more. It really is. And that's one of the great things where I think this is really a hobby that so many people take for granted, because I've been sim racing for around 11 to 12 years now. I started in the beginning, or actually closer to the end of 2016. And, or no, 2006, not 2016, 2006. And back then, the focus of sim racing was so much different than what it was now. For example, the wheel everyone wanted was the Logitech G25, I think, at that time. Where that was like the first wheel that had an H pattern shifter and sequential hybrid combo. It was one of the first ones that really had the 3 pedals and shifter like comboed with it. There was also the Thrustmaster RGT, which it had the 3 pedal set and a sequential shifter, no H pattern shifter, and I think that wheel was limited to 270 degrees. Back then, most wheels were 270 degrees. There was the Driving Force Pro and the Logitech G25. And I remember my first wheel was the Logitech NASCAR, which was a wheel with, I think, 240 degrees of rotation, and they called it vibration feedback. That was really basically saying it had a controller's rumble motor in it. There was no force feedback or anything. It just rumbled when you go over bumps or hit a wall. And then in about 2008, moved up to the Logitech Momo, and that was my first taste of force feedback, and I was freaking loving it. But nowadays, we're just seeing this, I don't know if I'm going to say complacency, but dissatisfaction with everything. People are complaining about the tire model's slightly off. They complain about netcode all the time. But let's just think about it real quick. The internet, as we really have gotten into, is still in its very, very early days. Think about in the 90s. Think about in the 1990s. You had to use dial-up to game online, and it would rack up your phone bill like no tomorrow. I remember one time talking with Darren Ganji, and he was talking about the old I think it was called Project Hawaii days, which was NASCAR racing by Papyrus way back when. And they had online racing, but you had to use dial-up. And there was a guy who racked up $1,200 in an online bill back in, I think, 1994. It's just insane. And we're just truly blessed to be sim racing in this time, where in this race that we're about to start in about 10 minutes, as I blow my engine, in about 10 minutes, I'm going to be racing against people from Brazil. I'm going to be racing against people from Europe and even Australia, I bet. And we're going to have minimal latency. There'll likely be some pingers and stuff, but we are likely going to be having an enjoyable race with people around the world. We're truly blessed, and sometimes we just gotta sit back and enjoy that. So yeah, I'm happy to be enjoying this hobby. It really is a great hobby, and I truly love it. Sure, there are moments when it's like I want to pull what little bit of hair I have out, but hey, it's something that we just have so much fun with. So let's see, 18 drivers registered. Let's see, refresh that real quick. 18 drivers so far. So, yep, Brazil, Italy. Oh, jeez, what time is it in Italy? Isn't it like 2 a.m. there? Maybe 3? Hold on a sec. What time is it in Italy? 2:51 a.m. in Italy. And this guy, he has the dedication where he wants to race at 3 a.m. Props to you, man. Props to you. I'd be asleep and... So yeah, mainly Brazil, America, Italy. I have no clue what flag that is. Sorry, I'm a little uncultured in terms of a lot of the world flags. But yeah, it's just, think about it. We have these drivers from around the world that are looking to join this race, and we should have a good experience. We do have a guy with a -4 rating, though, so that could be interesting. Too hot to sleep in Italy. Okay, that's Croatia's flag. Thank you for that. Thank you. Learn something new every day. But yeah, so... Oh, shoot. We were practicing on the wrong configuration. We were practicing on the Grand Prix configuration of Barcelona. We are going to be racing on the moto configuration. That's interesting. We will need to take that into consideration. Hey, a little surprise never hurt anyone. But yeah, but it's remarkable just thinking how far this hobby has progressed in the space of, say, 25, 30 years. Because think about it. NASCAR racing, Papyrus's first NASCAR game, I believe was released either the year I was born or when I was 1 year old. And 25 years sounds like a long time in some ways, but at the same time, that's just a fraction of, like, whatever. So in 25 years, we've just seen technology skyrocket in terms of technical prowess. Because think about it. In the 90s, you would have never, ever been able to race against someone, even really across the continent, let alone halfway around the world. And then also at the same time, you're saying that some people in here are from Finland. So Finland, you're watching me with maybe a 5 to 10 second delay. And that's basically live. So it's just insane thinking about what we've been able to do with technology and evolve this hobby. So, yeah, that's one of the reasons I just love the sim racing so much, because odds are I'll likely never drive a Porsche 911 Carrera RSR on a racetrack in real life. But I get to do it from the comfort of my house. And then, for example, Lotus 49, there are maybe 5 left in the world? And we have the ability to drive it in a variety of different titles. I can take a virtual Lotus 49, take it to my virtual home track, and drive it there and have it be convincing. That's just remarkable. So we have 23 drivers registered. Should be a good event. Few Canadians in here. And yep, Justin Talent. He's a good driver, especially by Australian standards. So I had a few good races with him. For example, the Porsche GT4. I had a race with him at Thruxton, and we had a good battle. I want to say I did end up on top. I might have accidentally bumped him out of the way in one corner, but it was a good race. It really was a lot of fun. And now we wait for, I want to say after the 3-minute mark, that's usually when it opens. We'll see if I can crack Gamer Muscle's Holy 7. I think we have a good setup for the car, at least. We'll see what we can do to bring more performance out of the car. But yeah, so let's join this session. Turn off display capture, maximize all performance I can get out of this car. Not car, but out of my stream. So I know a few guys have been talking about wanting to do live streams. If you do OBS, I highly recommend remembering to turn off display capture while having game capture on. Especially in Assetto Corsa, I've noticed it really does take out of the performance. So let's load up our setup, because we made a setup for this. And let's get a feeling for the car. What's interesting in sim racing system events is you can see the tires start off green. So behind the pit menu, you can see all 4 tires are green. So tire blankets are turned on by default. But odds are, over the course of the race, we are going to see those tires fall off. Or not fall off, but yeah, you know what I mean. Man, that oversteer is intense. Overcooked it. One guy is in the sand, aka kitty litter. Well, we got to be careful with our downshifts, because before we saw that we actually were struggling with over-revving on downshifts and damaging the engine, and that's how we kind of blew the engine in practice, so... Oh yeah. So that's a 3rd gear corner, roughly. That legitimately does change the entire 3rd sector. So Ben, are you recommending that I up the rear toe? I'm not using the Fanatic shifter right now because with the way this rig is designed, I just don't have room on the right side, because I have the Heusinkveld Engineering sequential shifter set up and the Heusinkveld Engineering handbrake. I do have a couple other cockpits coming for review, and I would likely use the Heusinkveld engine, or not Heusinkveld, the Fanatic shifter on those. So pump it more positive, okay. I'll do that ahead of the qualifying session. I don't know, is that hairpin gonna let you be a little greedy there? Have to keep that in mind. Because some people might try utilizing a little more of that corner. Whoa, a little overspeed there. So let's quickly adjust the setup a bit. Back to the pits. So let's see. Toe. Let's do 22. Let's see how that goes. See if we can get a little time here. Something happened here. Or you guys just doing burnouts there? Okay. Slideways. Aw, couldn't test the performance out. But we'll have time here, so we'll do 15 liters, estimated lap 69. Yeah, that's fine. It's the Bumblebee car! Just imagine if Bumblebee from Transformers was actually a Porsche instead of a Camaro. Whoa! That was close! He's off. Wow, that pitched the car in big time. Whoa! Okay. I gotta get used to this. That orange Porsche behind me just got a little slideways. Take it easy into here. I have the TH8 RS shifter, which is functionally the same as the TH8A, except it doesn't allow you to plug into different devices. Personally, I'd say the TH8, the shifter, so Thrustmaster shifter has a better feeling for the H pattern shifter. Fanatic's shifter has a better sequential feel. But I'd say the big benefit for the Thrustmaster shifter is that you can modify the different shifter gates, and you can modify the shifter to get a better feel. You can't really do that with the Fanatic. Hey Babs, doing well, qualifying for a race. So with my TH8 RS, one time I over-tightened and it ended up damaging the tension screw. So Thrustmaster ended up actually sending me a replacement screw. So there's that. There's also rubber band mods you can do to up the tension a bit. Freaking over rev. Come on, save it. There we go. This orange Porsche is likely thinking, what is this guy doing? Little wide. So I think part of this race is just going to be survival of the fittest. So the guys who don't spin, like that guy, don't want to be like him. So well, I bumped us up to 9th. Let's see if we can get one more good lap in. We're pushing. You definitely can't deny that. Botch the corner on the throttle. Thank you, Michael Becker, for subscribing. Thank you. Gain 2/10. Not enough to get into 8th, though. Oh, man, that car is lively. Okay, so let's drop that to 18. Thanks, Cybershoddy. I'm gonna need it. So we were clocking in about 2:04. 12 laps, yeah. That's a little excess, but I think that should be fine. 25 liters, yeah. But yeah, Justin Talent qualified top 3. Sheesh. So yeah, top 4 within 1 second of each other. That should be an exciting race, I think. And then me in 10th place, 300ths apart. So we should have a good battle for 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, it looks like. We'll see how this goes. Qualifying's one thing, racing's another entirely. So make sure our fuel's good. Yes, it is. Tires. I'm going to bump up to 25 because we have tire blankets on, so hopefully that'll be okay. Save setup. Override. There we go. Okay. Starting 9th place. Wish me luck. I'm gonna need it. There we go, first gear. 2 lights, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights, 6 lights. Go! Whew, that was a decent start. Stuck on the outside. Oh! Purple Porsche ran wide. That's going to botch our arrow a bit. I'm using clutch and sequential. I don't have an H pattern shifter set up on this rig right now. I just almost got punted. Trying to make a move on the outside. Ooh, beautiful pass on the outside. This guy's... He got loose. Thankfully, he saved it. Little oversteer going into the corner. No bueno. Okay, I was on the curb. I'm not using paddles. We're up to 7th. Made decent ground on that first lap. Let's see if we can move away. These two cars in front of me are battling. That's what I like to see. No, that was close. I qualified 9th place. Made 2 passes on the first lap, and I'm in 7th. But almost wrecked there. Just need to calm down. And I get punted! Come on! Wow! That's like, really? I mean, he was 5 car lengths back. I mean, maybe not 5 car lengths back, but he was definitely, there was no way that he could have made that corner braking that late. And that green car is spinning. Please enter the track safely. And no, he doesn't. He just caused a 4-car pileup. Wow. Okay. Wow. That got interesting. So we're up to 10th. I'm trying to close in on these guys in front, but I can tell my arrow is slightly shot now after that punt. I mean, it looks like I'm making up ground in the corners, but this car is a little more difficult to drive now. And that's saying something. But as long as those two cars are pretty close to each other, then I'm thinking I might be able to close in a bit. Granted, that was my best lap so far this race. Okay. I mean, I'll admit, I'm an average driver. I'm decent I'm nowhere near, like, great, but at least I know what I'm doing. I'll put it that way. So I'm 4.2 seconds back. At least when we crossed the line last. I think we're going to be about 5.5 next lap. That would be my prediction. Wow, I actually got a compliment from Austin. Okay, 4.8. So braking into turn 1 is nuts. Especially because I'm using the Heusinkveld brakes, which, yeah, you're going all out there. Oh, yellow flag. Let's keep an eye out. I tried to be a clean driver. If I hit someone, it's 99% of the time a mistake. Okay, that should be for position. When I'm racing with Gamer Muscle, though, all bets are off. If you watch the Wreckfest stream where I was racing with him, he got so ticked. Also, the online in R Factor 2 stream, that was pretty funny. This is some of my favorite downshifting sounds in all of sim racing. It really does have a level of depth that other ones just don't provide. Little loose. Control it. Okay, that was a fun corner. Likely slow, but fun. Oh, that's a new PB this race. Okay, I'll take it. .5 seconds back. I'm closing in on 9th. It would be nice to at least finish where I started. I think I let off way too much speed out of this corner, but it's one of those things where I'd rather be safe than sorry. Jeez, 9th place really closed in on that front pack now. But I saw a few tire lockups. I'm wondering if his tires are going to fall off before this race ends. Maybe not. I don't know if it's a long enough event. Well, my guess is it's summer. He might be working on more pre-scripted videos, things like that. I mean, Gamer Muscle, we all have a life, so sometimes life gets in the way. So my guess is simply things come up and he's busy. Whoa! That's a bit of a tank slapper. Let's try this in 4th gear. And bogs down a little too much. Skywolf. I just think I lack the car right now to catch up to 9th. I mean, if they wreck, I'll be happy, but I just don't think I can make it out of sheer car power right now. Norman, you on vacation or something? Whoa, that's oversteering. Yeah, the balance is really going away from me right now. Which makes me wonder how it is for everyone else. So we're going to have 2 laps left, I think. So he went off track, but I don't think I have enough momentum to catch him. We'll see. We'll push. I'll promise that. He got a better drive off there. Ooh, he ran wide there. Whoa! Oh, man. 0.7 of a second. Whew. Oh, man. Close. If I had one more lap, I think I would have caught him. One more lap. Oh. I lose track of how many times I got punted during the race. I think I got hit 3 times or something like that. But I did get punted once, but oh man. Yeah, I think I would have been able to fight for maybe like top 7, top 6 without that punt, but it's just unfortunate. But oh man. Whew, buddy. So let's see if it'll show the championship results. At least we'll take a look at the replay, I think. So we'll save the replay and let's take a look at the replay and see what happens. So hold on a second. Barcelona. Load. Because I want to see what this says happened. Because there was that incident in the first turn. And I think I was as far off on the track as I could have been, but we'll find out. Hold on. Okay, so we're going through, and we are coming into the first corner, and I see, yes, I have to be on the outside, which is unfortunate. Okay, so let's take a look. So I am trying to hold my line. I'm drifting out to the right, and I'm going to call that a racing deal. He was drifting out. He was possibly a little too aggressive there, but I think that's more of a racing deal than anything. And he just, I guess, didn't realize I was there. So I'm going to let that one slide. Let's go. I want to say it was... or let's see what lap it was. Actually, here's the easy way. Alright, will this show position? Guess it won't. I forget what lap it was we got punted on. I didn't think it was this far out. Might have been second lap. Hold on. Yeah, this is roughly where he got punted, I think. So here. And okay, yeah, so that's exactly where we got punted. So I just want to see this one. I don't see any way how this could have been me at fault, personally. I just don't see any way. So let's see. Actually, let's go to F5. So let's see. That's 1, 2, 3, like four car lengths back. I brake. Yeah, he clearly locked it up. He braked way too late. I mean, there's just no explanation for that. I mean, so let's take a look at where I started braking. So I started braking around, it looks like the 150 marker or so. Or a little after the 150 marker. So that's fairly reasonable. I want to see what number this guy is. 59, okay. So yeah, okay. So I want to see where he actually started braking. So he didn't start braking until about the 100. So he's letting off the throttle right now. And so that's roughly 125. So the reason I wanted to showcase this is a lot of people have asked me at times, how do you determine your braking points? So this is roughly the difference between braking at around the 140 and the 120, or 110 actually, let's say. So this would likely be around 110. Also, another mistake he made, he slammed on the brakes. He's 100% on the brakes and he locks it up. So those are the couple mistakes I've noticed. When you're braking, you don't want to be braking 100% of the time. Or 100%. you want to modulate it to the point where it's threshold braking. So, look. You could see where I'm braking. And then I ease off the brakes a bit, let the tires regain traction. And this isn't the best braking method. I likely can brake a bit better, but it's maintaining the threshold. You're not seeing the lockup. You're not seeing that behavior. And see a little bit of trail brake to get the car turned in, but unfortunately he just totally locked it up. So let's go to the next lap and show how to sort of brake well. So you see full brake to the point where you're almost locking up, ease off a bit, make sure you don't lock up, pitch the car in. That's one of the ways you want to brake. So again, coming up on the corner, brake hard, almost to the point of locking up, get the car woed down big time, and drive out. Again, here, I'm going to drag the brake a tiny bit. I want to trail brake a little bit to pitch the car in. So, trail brake, this car doesn't like trail braking too much, but a little bit of trail braking can help pitch the car in. Again, we will be going down the front straight, braking hard. So, slam on the brakes. Make sure you don't lock up. Locking up, bad for tires and bad for slowing down. So get to the point where you almost lock up and then ease off a little bit. Ease off a little bit and maintain as much braking force as possible without locking up the tires. And that's how you want to brake for corners. So again, hard on the brake, hard on the brake. I locked up there. You saw I was too hard on the brake that time. And that caused me to lock up and lose A, the braking force, and B, my turn in. So here, didn't lock up this time. Brake hard, but not hard enough to lock up and get the car pitched into the corner. So that's a brief crash course on threshold braking, braking properly for a corner. So yeah, but all in all, this race turned out pretty well. Could have been a lot worse. I mean, considering that there were 20 cars and I got hit once and spun once, this could have been a lot worse. But for now, I am going to sign off, but remember, next week, we are kicking off a new season with the Mazda MX-5 Cup. Should be an exciting championship, and I'd love to see you join. But for now, I'm William Marsh for the Sim Racing Paddock, and you have a great rest of your day.